The Centre Ascended, the next map set to drop for ARK Survival Ascended, has been rescheduled, which means it's technically been delayed because it's been moved back, but it does feel more like a rescheduling. So who knows? Let's get cracking. Alright, Tinkers, I'm Toastbloke and I'm back with some more ARK Survival Ascended news. And this week, it feels really, really good. We've just had the news that the Power Rangers are coming to ARK, and on top of that, we've got more news on the centre and some new dinos that have been added to the base game. So let's get looking at the community crunch. Now, straight away from the front page here, you can see that the shastasaurus is looking great there in all of its glory, flopping back over onto its back, right next to what I presume is part of the centre with the survivor there. And this looks great. The water looks great. The colours look great. I love the design model on this creature. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. But the main thing to note is it is absolutely huge. And the fact that we can tame this and build in it vacuum sealed chamber on its back is going to be crazy. I'm so excited to see how they implement this, but this is before we've even started, so let's get straight in and have a look at the news. Now, what we find out is that the Centre Ascended is being delayed or rescheduled by 1 day. It was set to come out on the 3rd of June, it is coming out on the 4th of June instead. Now, the reason we're given for this is basically making sure that rollout is smooth. Now, we had something similar with Scorched Earth, if you remember. That was set to come out, they moved it a day forward, and then they moved it a day back due to holidays and staffing and things like that. So I wonder if something's going to be going on around this date, where moving it back a day is going to make it much easier for the team to run this smoothly and make sure that we get the best experience we can as consumers, as players of the game. So they tell us here that the centre is coming along nicely and it will be ready for the start of June. But because they want a smooth rollout, it's been adjusted by 1 day to June the 4th. And they are super appreciative of our enthusiasm for the 3rd map to come to ARK Survival Ascended. Now, this map is well overdue. This was meant to come out months ago, and then they delayed it and decided it was going to come out with the Gigantoraptor instead because they couldn't get the Shastasaurus ready, and then it got moved back again, and so they are bringing the Shastasaurus with it. It's been an absolute mess. So it's nice to know that we've got the start of June pinned down, and hopefully June the 4th is a date that is now locked in, because I'm so excited to play this map. I've been really impressed with Scorched. The island was great until I realised it was just the island again, like it's beautifully designed. But this is a map I've not spent a lot of time on. So again, like Scorched, I think I'm going to absolutely love playing this. So I'm very excited for it. Next up, we are being introduced to 2 new creatures that have been added to the base game, the Ceratosaurus and the Zevactinus. Now, they are live now. You can jump in the game. You can find these both on the island, and you can find one of them on Scorched Earth. Now, I'm in 2 minds about this. I'm happy that new dinos are getting added to the game. I'm a little bit sad that this is actually a mod that is being put into the base game. Because when it comes to things like mods and stuff like that, I like to have choice, and I feel like that choice has been taken away from us, but that's just a pet peeve of mine. I'm sure people are going to have loads of fun with these, because from what I've seen, from what I've experimented with, these are really quite fun and interesting creatures, particularly the Ceratosaurus. I think it is really, really cool and really well designed. Personally, I just like that choice. Now, if they were going to add these into the game on a new map, on a separate map, rather than putting them on maps that I like the experience of already without affecting it, I would have been fine, 100% okay. It's just that this is on the island and Scorched, and it's probably going to be on other maps going forward now because they're in. And they're going to be adding more than just these 2. I think there's 10 in total that they're going to be adding to the game. But here's what they've got to say anyway. This week, we're thrilled to unleash not 1, but 2 of Garuga 123's formidable creatures, and they are officially making their debut on ARK. We've got the Ceratosaurus and we've got the Zevactinus. Now, it says to prepare to master these remarkable new additions, and yeah, it is a challenge. I've had a look into it and I'll be making videos on how to tame both of these later, maybe even try and come up with the traps, so look out for them. But they are not straightforward. They're a little bit harder than some other creatures you would come across, and I do think people are ready for and want more of a challenge who are ARK veterans, shall we say. So this is probably more for them. Now, with one of them, like I say, there are new items to tame it and a completely new mechanic, but also it's got some interesting attacks and abilities. The other as well, yeah, they're just interesting. Like the fish can grab, raise and swim off and make bleeding, all sorts. It's a little bit crackers, but it's interesting. So I'm looking forward to getting more stuck into them, even though I wish I had the choice to not have to. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, okay? I'm not slighting the work. I'm not slighting the designs. They're great. I just don't like this idea because there's implications for the future. What else is going to be made base game? They could just take mods, just stick them in, make them base game. And before we know it, ARK won't be ARK anymore. And it might not even be getting made by Studio Wildcard. It might literally be a fan-created game. Who knows? That could be better. Who knows? Maybe I should just roll with it and let it be. Regardless, we've got information below that about what's happening with premium mods on console. The good news is Xbox and Windows are going to be getting premium mods available on the 20th of May. Sadly, PlayStation, you're going to have to hang on a little bit longer because things are still in certification and therefore you're going to have to wait up to a week. But you should have things within a week and then premium mods will be rolled out to all platforms. So just asking for your patience while that certification runs through with Sony. But yeah, everybody now, you know what's happening. Get stuck into premium mods when you can. Having said all of that, they decide to jump back into talking about the two new creatures, one of them being the Ceratosaurus, and we've got the dossier for it here, so we'll have a quick look through that. Here's what it says about when the creature is in the wild. While I'm surprised I haven't encountered them sooner, I'd rather them just vanish altogether. Ceratosaurus is as ruthless as they are quick. While not the most damaging carnivores you'll encounter, they are certainly some of the most persistent. I've seen these creatures even exhibit a sort of stalking behaviour unlike anything else I've seen on the island. While they may not make themselves known to you immediately, they certainly know where you are. And this is what it says about it while it is domesticated. The spines on Ceratosaurus have a very unique and powerful trait, venom. This hemotoxin has a bizarre reaction with blood, making it incredibly nutritious to carnivores. The more intense the venom infection, the more beneficial the blood becomes. I've witnessed tribes that have managed to tame these beasts, use it to great effect against larger threats and even the island's guardians. Perhaps this desire to devour envenomed prey can be used against them. And that's a little clue to the taming method. Like I say, I will be making a video on that, so keep an eye out. Let's move on to Zivactinus, which has another dossier made for it. And these look great. I love the designs on the dossiers. I think they're so nice. Basically, it says while it's in the wild, that Zivactinus velox is a frighteningly fast creature, and it is. It lurks in the island's oceans. Most often appearing in groups, Zivactinus can quickly overwhelm its victims. They have been observed to grab smaller prey in their terrifying jaws and thrash wildly to deplete their energy. When subdued, they will proceed to swallow the prey whole. Something I've witnessed before many unfortunate survivors. Beware Zivactinus that have recently fed, as they will become frenzied from the clouds of blood they've created. The target's too large to be swallowed by its horrific maw. Zivactinus will instead resort to tearing off a chunk of flesh, causing the target to begin bleeding out. On several occasions, I've noticed Zivactinus will attack other ocean species such as Megalodon and even larger threats such as Mosasaurus. Be glad that you're not their only target. While the domesticated, Zivactinus make for excellent mounts for exploring the ARK's vast ocean environments. Their powerful jaws can be utilised to grab smaller prey, while leaving a nasty bleeding wound on larger opponents. With good manoeuvrability and a violent nature, any tribes partaking in sea warfare will be sure to have a shoal of their dire tuna. And that is all the information we get from the dossiers. And I think you can get a good picture of what these creatures are capable of, but you're going to have to wait for my other videos, or maybe just find out in game. So if you're interested, get yourself into the island's ocean and have a look for your first Zivactinus. And if you want to check out the Ceratosaurus, that is on both the island and Scorched, roaming around the lands there. So jump on the game, give them a go, because you don't want to hear me talking about them. You want to get playing with them. But yeah, really exciting creatures, really interesting. I just wish that they were still a mod, maybe not something forced into the base game, because the island has changed forever. I was a little bit upset when this game launched with the Rhino and the Karcher in the game. I kind of wanted those to come later like they did, so I could experience the island how it was when the game first came out. And I never got to, so I feel like that dream is getting further and further away, and it's never coming back. We're never getting that version of ARK anymore. But that's pretty much it from the news this week. The Power Rangers are coming as well in June, by the way. We're going to get some skins. I believe I've made a video on that. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested. But I'm a big fan of the Power Rangers, so I'm so excited for that, more than I am for most other things in the game, which is probably a little bit sad, especially when I'm against the game, not feeling like a real dinosaur game, but I can't help it. Power Rangers, it's my childhood, right? I've got a close affinity to it, right? It's just how it is. But that's it for the news today, so I'm going to call that there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, informative, entertaining, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It does wonders for my channel, and I'm super grateful for your support. If you'd like to get involved in the Team Toast community, check out the links in the description. It would be lovely to see you around somewhere. But until next time, you guys take care, and I will catch you later. Cheerio.